Hello lovely people, check out Obaa Yaa. If you're new to my channel, I say welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning back in. In today's video, I want to talk about sebum. What is sebum and why it's important for our hair and our scalp. So if you are interested in knowing more about the sebum that is produced on your head, then stay tuned. Before we dive right into this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also to turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload my new video. Guys, okay, we have made it to 5k and I'm so glad and I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing. But now it's time to let's step our game, let's step up this game. Okay, let's step it up, push it up. Oh yeah, anyway, let's when will I make a video without singing or just being a clown? Will there ever be a video where I'm not a clown? I don't think so. That's why you like me, Sha. In any ways, guys, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, I don't know. If you have not subscribed, God is watching and He's going to judge you. Okay, He's watching and He will judge you. God will judge you accordingly. Okay, I'm not even joking. I'm serious. Okay, I'm very serious. So subscribe. Okay, if you don't want to be judged, subscribe. And also check me out on Instagram. Okay, now without further ado, let's dive right into this video. Let's dive right into the video. Girl, bye. Sebum is an oil that is produced in your sebaceous glands. I don't know if I pronounced this word correctly, so I'm just going to insert it right here and then you can read it. So sebaceous. Wait, in fact, let me ask Google. Sebaceous. Sebaceous, okay. Sebaceous. There you have it. So sebaceous glands, okay? So the sebum oil is produced in the sebaceous glands. These glands are located on your scalp and it's meant to hydrate your hair and your scalp. But other parts of our bodies also produces oil, not just on the scalp. Sebum is very, very important for keeping your hair healthy, hydrated, and strong, okay? Usually, sebum is supposed to travel down the hair shaft to keep the hair hydrated. But for us curly girls, our sebum usually gets trapped on the scalp or close to the roots. That is why we always find that we complain of build-up and all that. Usually that buildup is a combination of the sebum and dirt and the products, but mainly it's the combination of dirt from the air and the sebum that creates that buildup that we typically find at the roots of our hair. So since as naturals with kinky curly hair, our sebum doesn't travel all the way down to our hair shaft, we find that our hair is usually typically drier than the other types of hair. Okay, because for them, their sebum travels all the way down to the roots. That's why they have to wash their hair frequently than us, because they find that their hair is greasy. That's why they say their hair is greasy. It's the sebum that travels all the way from the roots all the way to the tips of their hair, leaving their hair greasy. But ours doesn't make its way past here, okay? So we have to manually push down the sebum from our scalp and let it coat the rest of our hair. And for this, there are different techniques I've actually seen people do on YouTube, where especially those who don't wash their hair with shampoo, they can really benefit from this because they let their sebum do all the moisturizing and hydrating. You know, there are different types of techniques in moisturizing the hair that works for different kinds of people, but you just have to find what works for you. So with regards to the sebum, there's a technique where you would scratch the sebum. When I say scratch, I don't mean like scratch where your where you're hurting yourself, but it's like a gentle scraping, trying to pull the sebum down the hair shaft. Actually, manually enforcing it down your hair shaft so that it can travel down, since it's finding it difficult to get through the kinks and the curls, the valleys, and all that. Okay, and this is actually best done when you're shampooing or when your hair is wet. When your hair is wet and it's warm under the shower, you would let your hair be warm because it's waxy. The texture of sebum is white and waxy, but if it's like warm and it's wet, then it's easier to maneuver it. So you would scrape it and pull it down your hair and try to rub it all into your hair shaft. Okay, I was watching this girl, I've forgotten, it's a long time. If I find her, I'll link her in the description down below, where she explained very well the technique of pulling your sebum down to your hair strands and letting it coat your hair. So if I find her, I will locate it. I will link it in the description box below. Yeah, so basically that's a way to help your sebum to travel down your hair. So if you're someone who tends to suffer from having oily scalp, there are several reasons why you could be suffering from an oily scalp. Okay, first reason could be your diet. Okay, your diet can contribute to the oil production on your head. Secondly, it could be the way you are treating your hair. Washing your hair too frequently can make your hair dry out or make your scalp dry, and then your scalp feel the need to produce more oil. To produce more oil to combat the fact that it's drying out. You understand? Because you're washing away all the sebum, it feels like it needs to produce more. Changing the frequency of washing and changing your diet might normalize the production of sebum on your head. And for those who suffer from actually having dry scalp or they don't have enough sebum production, then you can substitute with using oils that are close to the sebum and would have similar effects on the hair, such as jojoba oil. Jojoba is said to be the closest to the sebum that is produced on our head and functions similarly to sebum. So if you find that you have dry scalp, then you can use jojoba oil on your scalp to help hydrate your scalp and also your hair. When you're washing your hair, make sure that the water you're using is not too hot, because if the water is too hot, it washes away the oil. Like, you know, when you're washing dishes and you really have like fatty stuff and you want to get rid of the oils, you use hot oil. You use hot water, you make sure the water is hot, and then you add the soap so that it can get all the fat away. Yeah, the same thing happens on your head if you're trying to use really hot oil to wash your hair. Hot oil. What? When you're trying to use hot water to wash your hair, it strips your hair from the natural oils. But instead of using hot water, use warm water, lukewarm water. Okay, lukewarm water is still going to make the oils malleable and make it easier for the oils to travel down your scalp without it washing away completely. The longer your hair is, the more difficult it is for the sebum to travel all the way down to the hair shaft. Okay, and with us curly heads, it's even more difficult for the sebum to travel all the way unless you manipulate it, unless you physically pull the sebum down your hair shaft. Especially when you're washing, you drag the sebum, like that white waxy thing you see when you're washing your hair. That's actually sebum. Okay, sometimes we might mistake sebum with buildup, but it's actually sebum, and we are trying to get our scalp squeaky clean, and actually we are causing more harm than good because we are washing away the sebum, that white waxy looking film. It just feels like, yeah, it has this way it looks. You know what I'm talking about. So next time when you're washing your hair, don't try to like get rid of all that because your scalp needs it. Try to work it down your hair shaft and distribute it evenly and distribute it evenly throughout your hair. And also try to get it all the way to the ends of your hair. You will find that if you are able to coat your hair entirely with sebum, your hair will feel less dry, especially the ends. It will feel less dry. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope it was helpful to you and you could pick 1 or 2 things from it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe if you haven't already, and also to turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload my new video. Also, check me out on Instagram. See you again in my next video. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay safe. It is your girl, Obaa Yaa, Obaa Yaa. Sing with me, Obaa Yaa, Obaa Yaa, oh, Obaa Yaa, yeah. Bye.